Good evening, everyone. This evening, we are going to shed some light on educational subject, but not any ordinary educational subject or roly-poly, slipshod education system that we have been talking about. We are going to talk about education system known as Fortress education system. Fortress education system was introduced in all the way back in 1883 by Sir George Read. Today in Australia, even today, Australian education system has been emulating the same Fortress education introduced by Sir George Read in 1883, and totally different kind of result they have been gaining out of the students. Students are actually pruned and groomed with absolutely perfection in knowledge, absolute perfection in knowledge, absolute perfection in education. No student is going to be disgruntled, no student is going to remain lagging, or no student will complain that he did not understand something. Grading will be good, and almost all the students are rankers. All the students are rankers. Everybody scores about 9 band, above 9 band and above. So this Fortress system of education has been accepted in a number of European nations, America, Canada, New Zealand, Switzerland, and many other Arab nations have also adopted the same Fortress education system. I wish that we can have this kind of Fortress education system introduced by the central government to state government and to every county, every locality, every municipality, and every school. It is not a simple, it is not a child's play, it is not a simple venture or adventure. It is very hard, for which our students hardly have potential to adopt and indulge in this kind of Fortress education. Students are always blank, and they have their mouth open to swallow anything the teacher throws in. We can never blame students, never ever blame students for being strong or poor. But it is the reflection of the teachers. Teachers are poor, students are poor. If the teachers are robust, strong, formidable, knowledgeable, with lots of potential, lots of grit, guts, gumption, then the students are also going to definitely turn out just like them. As I always quote, and I always will quote, and today I will quote, in our vernacular language, they say, Kua Mahoy, to Avedama Ave. Now, if our wells are totally dried up, they are all mouth eaten, absolutely moth eaten teachers, classes. They don't have any kind of knowledge. They're all the primitive knowledge. I would not call it a knowledge. I would say just information, and that too, drip and drab information, piecemeal information that they are providing to a student who does not understand anything what the teacher has been teaching. And God is my witness, teacher doesn't teach. Teacher just spends his time and ruins the time and energy and the money of their students' parents in his laziness, in his slouthness, in his apathy and ignorance. So I have actually created 4 points to elaborate what is Fortress education introduced in Australia by George Read. Point number 1 is assessment of students' understanding. I'm sorry, not understanding, but underpinning of potential and skill. Assessment of students' underpinning potential and skill. This Fortress education enables the teachers to understand students' underpinning ability, capability, and viability. Underpinning means intrinsic, innate. your congenital abilities and potential to understand education will be unearthed, will be surfaced by this fortress education, and the student teachers are going to find out what area the student is poor, and the teacher is definitely going to target that gray area of students, make the students perfect and all round personality, whatever the follies and foibles, whatever the weakness or the gray area or the black zone of the student, teacher is going to try to detect it, and then teacher is going to work on it and make sure that the students' gray areas are all obliterated, wiped out, fizzled out. And the student can understand every single thing and say with a smile on his face that yes, I understand that thing, I understand that chapter, I understand that philosophy, I understand that methodology. Point number 2, gaining understanding and appreciation of learning. Students are also stressed, instilled about the importance and appreciation of learning. What we are learning, why we are learning, what your learning is going to do to you, how you are going to be able to utilize in future, how this learning is going to aid better things in your life, how this kind of learning is going to enable you to earn more money, how it is going to enable you to become honest, credible, incredible citizen of the nation. Understanding the viability, ability, capability of education, what the education is for, that is drastically, totally, absolutely missing in India. Teachers don't know. If you ask any teacher, I guarantee you he would not be able to answer two answers. Why? What is the viability of learning and why we get education? Teacher would not be able to answer two-line question. Just 2 lines in his answer. How can a student know about this thing? Like I said earlier, Point number 3, purpose of entire exercise means the purpose of all education, fortress education, going through everything. Why? Purpose of entire education, meaning why do we study? That is first thing that we have to trigger this. We have to spark this philosophy in the mind of the student, so a student can understand why do we grind ourselves, why do we study all day long, why do we shed sweat and blood for education, what is it going to do to us, what is the purpose and aim of this kind of education that we have been spending our life or our time from dawn to dusk, all 22 years. First thing first, why we do anything? If you understand this thing, then you are going to be interested in that particular work, and the work is definitely going to allure you. Work is going to excite you if you know why you are doing something. But if you don't know anything about it, it's like walking in the dark. That you really don't know where are you going, and you really have no idea where you are going to reach. Point number 4, in-depth understanding of the aims and objective of education. Same thing. Absolute in-depth understanding is provided to the students in the wake of why do we get education, what is the purpose of education, what education is going to do to us, what education is going to do to the society, what education is going to do to the nation and to the world. Why? Why? Albert Einstein is saying that more the question students ask, more the education proliferates. So that is what Sir George Reed has said. A question. Teach the student by asking question. Asking question. Who was Adam Smith? Which book Adam Smith wrote in 1776? Where did he get the ideas of a free enterprise? What are his ideas of free enterprise? What do we learn out of his ideas of free enterprise? What is Kaizen? What is laissez-faire? What is TQM? Ask the question. Don't just answer, don't just teach like a parrot. Don't be a parrotized pedagogue. Parrotized pedagogues are absolutely redundant, useless, important, not important. Because they have very limited knowledge, they have very, very childish knowledge, they have very, very primitive knowledge, and they have absolutely paleolithic knowledge and not in proper quality nor quantity. So, asking more questions to the students can trigger their curiosity, and then they are going to ask you more and more questions to satisfy their curiosity that you have sparked. But if you don't know how to spark the curiosity, how to trigger students to ask questions, then they are definitely not going to ask you any question. They will sit over there like a dumb creature or dumb cattles. They will be there in the class, sitting on the class like buffalo, thinking about hay, thinking about the grass, thinking about cafeteria, thinking about mobile, thinking about girlfriend or boyfriend. That kind of teachers have created that kind of malaise in the society. Like I said in the beginning, we cannot blame students for anything at all. If you visit someone's home and if you find that home is beautifully built, the credit doesn't go to the person who lives in the house, but credit goes to the person who has built it. So you don't give credit or you don't give any kind of blames to the students, but credit and blame both go to the teachers. And God knows that our teachers don't deserve any kind of credit. They deserve only blames. They are absolutely lousy. They are absolutely nasty. They are absolutely ignorant. And they are absolutely egotistical, narcissistic type of teachers. So this is all about Fortress Education. I would pray, and I want you to pray, please, that India may adopt Fortress Education. But first of all, India has to tackle the problem of our nutty teachers. If we can actually make our doctored teachers remedied from their ignorance, from their lack of education, from their lack of skill, from their lack of potential, prowess, guts, grit, understanding, insight, and underpinning ignorance. If we can actually remedy that, then we have melody gone. Melody is removed. First, the melody is in the heart and the minds and the soul of the teachers. They are all empty. Mind is empty, soul is empty, and the heart is absolutely, positively empty, empty, and empty. Thank you for listening. God bless everyone on this planet. Amen.